I only got one more night. I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye.
This gonna be the
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you. This is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
And finally, in a world where everyone thinks they can do my job, check out this guy.
When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
It's so awful, isn't it?
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
You think this is funny? Is this a joke to you?
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker? Send in the clowns.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Mr. Vine, Mr. Vine's channel, Sweatbox. We back, we live, we active here on the channel. And it's time for that Joker spoiler review. Yes, I just got back from seeing Joker, well, a couple days ago. I saw that. I just now getting to do the review because I've been busy. But this is the Joker spoiler review. Joker, directed by Todd Phillips, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Zazie Beetz, Robert De Niro, and Brian Tyree Henry. It's got some great cameos from Mark Maron. Who else was in here? Eric Red. Eric Red from Saturday Night Live, the black dude. I think he's Eric Red, but he had a small cameo in it. What's his name? From Joe Rogan podcast, the comedian. I can't remember his name. He had a good. Brian Callen, that's what it was. Brian Callen had a small cameo. There's a lot, so let's talk about this movie, man. The controversy that is Joker. Like, come on, man. Everybody talking about, oh, this movie's bad, it's too violent, it's gonna cause mass shootings, it promotes violence, and stop all that, man. Stop all that. Does the movie have violence? Yes. It's the origin stories of a psychopath. It has violence. Is it the most violent movie I've ever seen? Not even close. Not even close. Have you guys seen the new Rambo? Have you guys seen John Wick? Have you seen Game of Thrones? Walking Dead? Any number of horror flicks? Come on, man. Stop with that. Stop with that. What we need to be talking about is how awesome of a performance my man Joaquin Phoenix turned in with this tour de force. This was a great performance. And this is a great performance. Now, there's a couple of things I want to discuss in this spoiler review. Spoiler alert. There's a phrase that everybody's been using when reviewing this movie, and when it comes to talking about Arthur Fleck as a character. Arthur Fleck has been described by everybody, pretty much to the T, every reviewer that I've seen, as an unreliable narrator. He is an unreliable narrator. And that is true. Now, that is to say, a lot of the things that happen in this movie, not a lot of the things, there are things that happen in this movie that don't really happen. That has led to the speculation, which is fine, it's great. Movies are subjective, it's what we watch them for. But it has led to the belief that certain things did happen and stuff like that. People think Joker died. He didn't die. He didn't die in this movie. I think the movie pretty much lays it out, the things that did happen and the things that didn't happen. The entire relationship with Zazie Beetz, that didn't happen. When he shows up at her apartment and she doesn't recognize him, I was like, oh shit, none of that never happened. And then they cut to the scenes of where she was supposed to be there, she was never really there. That didn't happen. The scene when he's on Murray's show, that didn't happen. None of that happened. So to say that he's an unreliable narrator is true, but to sit there and say that he died, like people say, oh, he died in the scene where he where he goes into the fridge. No, he didn't. He didn't die there. Everything happened. Those are the only things. Everything happened. He died when they hit his police car and they drug him out. No, he didn't. You know how I know? Because this is an origin story. You're not gonna have your character die. You could, but that's stupid. This is an origin story. This is still the same God. This is still Gotham City. We still see the Waynes get murdered. So you can't. He didn't die. There's a lot. The scene with him at the end talking to the nurse where he's like, oh, you wouldn't get the joke. And then he runs down the hall with the bloody footprints. After he does the bloody smile on top of the cop cars, that all happened. He got arrested after that. He was apprehended and then put into Arkham, which is where we catch up to him, I don't know how many months or years later, where he's talking to the lady and he's like, oh, you wouldn't get the joke. And he kills her, and then the movie ends with him running around Arkham. That's my thoughts on what really happened and what didn't happen. But let's get into the specifics of my favorite scenes and the things that made me really love this movie. Joaquin Phoenix stars as Arthur Fleck, a man who is broken. He's broken. When we meet him, he's already a broken man. And it just goes downhill from there. And this is the scene where he gets jumped by the kids when he's twirling the sign. Look, man, I don't condone the beating of sign twirlers. But I understand. They're very annoying, but you don't do it. They're just out here trying to get a buck, man. Here's what happens. This movie shows you, if you learn nothing else from this movie, don't fuck with sign twirlers, man. If you beat them up, then they turn into jokers. And they terrorize your city for the next 20 years. And I'm pretty sure your city's not going to have a Batman. So you're shit out of luck. Stop fucking with sign twirlers. Let them be. But these kids don't listen. They beat his ass, and that just leads to a downward spiral that creates the madman prince of insanity that we know as the Joker. Some of my favorite scenes in this movie that I feel are the most Joker-esque moments. I'm going to talk about two of the most Joker-esque moments where I was like, oh, that's very Joker. Was the scene in his apartment when he kills the dude who tried to sell him the gun, the dude who gave him the gun, and the little person was there with him. That scene is fucking awesome. The way he flips out, murders the dude, the little person's like, oh shit, and then he's sitting there just covered in blood on the ground next to the dead body, and he's like, you can go. And then the dude he's walking by him and Joker's like, blah! It was fucking awesome. That was so Joker. And then when he's like, Arthur, he can't reach the door, he's just terrified. And you're like, oh shit. He comes over, gives him a kiss. You're the only one that was ever nice to me. And he just lets him go. I loved it. I was like, oh, that's vintage Joker. That is Joker right there. That is just insane, crazy person Joker. And my second favorite scene when he was on Murray's show. The scene on Murray's show was fucking epic. Everything about it. The playful tone when he tries to tell his last joke. He's like, can I tell one more? He's like, no, you can't tell. This is over. He starts to tell it anyway, and he just gets more intense. And he says, you know what you get? You get what you fucking deserve. Boom! And he just blows his shit all over the place. And then he just sits there with the blood on his face again. And he's just sitting there with that smile. And it's just so Joker. That look that he has is just so fucking Joker. I loved it. Then he gets up, he shoots him again, and he's kind of awkward because he doesn't know if he's going to drop the gun. And he does. And then he fucking does the little dance. And then he walks towards the camera. Oh, it's just all Joker. He grabs the Joker. He grabs the camera. Perfect. Perfect Joker. I loved every bit of it. It was great. And then, of course, like the end scene when he gets the bloody smile. That's very Joker too. But those are the two scenes that are my favorite. The scene where he's on the train when he murders the dudes and then he goes and does the dance and all that. That's a great scene. I love that too. The behind the scenes where he talks to Todd Phillips, where Todd Phillips was explaining how they did that scene, him and Joaquin Phoenix, where they were there. It was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was great. Another scene that I love is when he goes to the Wayne's house to see Thomas Wayne, and then he runs into Bruce, little child Bruce. When he stuck his fingers in the kid's mouth, I was like, oh, this dude is fucking crazy. Anytime you stick your fingers in a kid's mouth, you're crazy. Don't put your fingers in kids' mouths, even if you're your own kids, but especially if they're not your kids. It's gonna make you look crazy, and he was crazy. That was a great scene. That was a great scene. You can see as soon as he was like, "What's your name?" He said, "Bruce." Everybody in the theater was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Yeah, motherfucker, your parents is gonna die." But yeah, man, this is a great movie. I love this movie. Brian Tyree Henry, he was great. The scene where he only had one scene, but it was awesome because just that whole scene when he's trying to get the file from his mother, you know what I'm saying, about his mother, and he's just, the way he looks at him, Brian is like, man, this motherfucker is crazy. He's like, this is your mother? He's like, you're crazy. And here's the thing. There's the conspiracy theory. Did Thomas Wayne have the file changed? Did he do all the corrupt? Did he cover it up? Are they really brothers? Is Joker and Batman really brothers? Did Thomas Wayne have it all covered up? Or was Joker's mom just fucking nuts? That is subjective. I'll buy that. If somebody wants to make that argument, there's something there, because this isn't the Thomas Wayne that we know from Batman Begins. This is more of a maniacal Thomas Wayne. When I saw him, I was like, oh, they're trying to make that Thomas Wayne like. There was definitely some Trumpisms there. I ain't gonna make it too political, but yeah, he wasn't a good guy. This Thomas Wayne wasn't the good guy that we've seen in other forms of Thomas Wayne. And they still get murdered in Crime Alley by Joe Chill or Jack Napier or whatever. It was just a random clown dude, and I like how they say Joker didn't respond. He didn't directly pull the trigger, but his actions were responsible. You see, when he killed him, he said, you get what you fucking deserve. So yeah, man, this movie is awesome. I cannot recommend it enough. I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff, but this is just a great movie, man. Go see it. Don't be scared. Don't listen to what these critics are saying. Go see this movie, man. This movie is going to get a 9 out of 10 for me, man. Congratulations, Joaquin Phoenix, Todd Phillips, everybody involved. Best Joker ever? It's up there. It's got to be in the conversation, man. It's him, and it's Heath Ledger. Jack Nicholson still gets his honorable mention. But those are the three. So, holla at your boy, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, you know how we do, man. Click the notifications. Peace. 100, y'all.
So faded on a track like this, 'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out alive.